That's the spirit you should have when you journal, not vilify yourself or vilify the conditions that you're going through. When you have these things that are impacting your growth and your development, and you're constantly doing a measurement and a baseline evaluation of growth and what you're learning from it by journaling, you're doing the best that you could ever do. You're documenting it. So that means you're going to have a means of being able to, number one, look back and see exactly when and how you changed. Because you're not going to remember everything. Think about all the trades that you've taken. Can you remember what the worst 5 of them were? What your entry price was? What was your position sizing? What was your stop loss? I know mine. I know mine. I know my 5 best trades. I know what my leverage was. I know what month contract I was trading, and I know how many contracts I was trading. And I know my entry price and my stop losses. They were meaningful things to me. I celebrated those a lot. A lot. And on American Line, I bragged about it. I bragged, baby. I was like, this is who I am. You have to know yourself like that. You got to know every detail. Don't hide away or shy away from, well, this is probably, going to be uncomfortable if someone else knew about this. No. You know what's more encouraging to me? You know what's more interesting to me? Listening to what people went through. What they went through to get to where they are today. Because we all look at the end result, like, wow, look at the crown champion. The person that has arrived, that's made this much money, has traded this long without a losing trade, who has won this competition. We see those things like that and like, wow, man, that's amazing. And you want to aspire to be like that or better. And they're all commendable. They're well done. Yes. But as a mature person who has tasted success and has lived it, to me, the more interesting thing is what they went through. How did they handle that? How did they handle the tug of wars of back and forth? Sometimes not feeling like they're ever going to get it. That's that to me is more inspiring. That to me is more of a testimony than what you acquired or what level you obtained. Because if someone says, "Yeah, I made $1 million," and they blast it on the social media, every social media, they're blasting it. Wow, that's $1 million, and we all think to ourselves, "Man, if I could just have $1 million like that, I would be successful. I would be happy. I would be content." But what happens if the person comes out and says, "Well, I've been trying to do this for 20 years, and I've lost $250,000 trying all this time. And this is my first measure of success." Now, right away, there's going to be a lot of people come out and say, "Oh, this guy's a joker. See, he's a fraud. He's a clown. He can't really do it. He looking took him this long." And these are people that don't even have a winning trade ever, never even have a live account, and can't pass these prop firm challenges, but they're the ones that are opinionated. And I would love to see the backstory of what they went through, because that's what it's going to take for you. See, every book that's ever been written about trading should have a whole lot of the stuff I talk about. But I know the attention span of most of you is of a gnat. You don't have anything beyond a TikTok mentality. The older generation of my community has the capacity to think, and they can appreciate and go beyond the scope of a 5-minute video, because they care about themselves enough to know, I want to know more. If you're willing to share more, I'm ready for it and I'm ready to receive it. But the present generation, they've been beaten into stupidity thinking that 5-minute training is sufficient enough. It's not. It's not. It's a commercial. And think about how it is when you're watching your favorite program. You want to get through the commercials, right? You pay for YouTube Premium to get around the ads when you're watching my videos. Don't talk to me about how you think you figured it all out and you know this is the better way of doing it. This is optimal learning, ICT. Your archaic way of teaching, these long-winded things. These are all the conversations that you're going to want to have with yourself when you're going through it all. You don't see it. You don't recognize any of that yet. See, that's proof that the people that talk like that in my comments, they're never going to arrive. They're never going to arrive. They're too critical about good medicine, about good information. I could be stingy. When I was 20, I wanted to be. I was never going to share anything of my best stuff. Never. And that changed real quick when he said, "Is that really what you're going to do?" And I couldn't do anything right. My heavens were like brass. Every prayer denied, every trade denied. Loss, 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 loss. Until I changed my perspective. And it wasn't about me. I said, use me as an instrument and allow me to point right back to you. And if you give me this, I will do that. And that's how I've lived my life. And you have to eventually get to the point where you're going to have to make a decision. Are you going to roll your sleeves up and say, you know what? I don't know how long the opposition and the adversities are going to come. I don't know what adversities are going to materialize in my development or my pursuit of this. But I am committing myself to no matter what it is, come hell or high water, I am absolutely dialed in. No one's going to say no to me and I am accepting it. Nope. You're not going to tell me I can't and I'm going to accept it. Nope. You're not going to tell me it ain't from me or ain't mine. Nope, it's mine. That's how it has to be. All you're doing is expecting a deferred payment that's coming to you. That success in the future, you own it. It's nothing short of what you do when you buy a magazine subscription. You pay for it in advance. You're paying for it, but you get it deferred, delivered later on. You ever think about it like that? I can't wait to get the summer edition of Sports Illustrated when they do the swimsuit edition. You know what I'm talking about, man. But you paid for it in the beginning of the year. So that way, that subscription comes to you at a later time. You got patience to wait for that, don't you? You spent good, hard-earned money for these subscriptions. You have cable TV, the equivalent thereof. You pay the bill for the next month's ability to watch the programs, the games. I got all access. Like now, you would think I'm a sports fan. I have every channel, every game that you could ever watch at my disposal, any time I want, and I never do it. I don't know why. I just whatever channel because I'm afraid if one of my friends do visit, they're like, "Hey, can we watch?" And I would be embarrassed if I couldn't pull it up. So that's why I've been for every year as an adult, I've paid for programming that I never watch. Am I hurting for it? Am I not able to make my bills because of that? Nope. But as a 20-year-old, that would make no sense to me. Some of you are thinking, well, why that's a waste of money? No, it's not. It gives me peace of mind. It doesn't cost me anything. My programming in TV programming is a write-off for me. I don't care about what it costs me for that stuff because I use the information that comes through CNBC. I can write that off. It pipes into my office. I use it for information, so therefore it's a resource and tool. So I don't care what it costs me. Sure, sure. I can watch that same access in my theater and watch John Wick blaze through a bunch of men with lots of fireworks and such. That's the perks of being a businessman. But you have to change the way you think about things right now. If you've been beating yourself up or saying, this isn't happening fast enough for me, this isn't working out for me like I hoped it would. You remember, everybody that ever arrives doesn't do it overnight. And many of them have guarded that secret that's never to be told, which was the hardship it took for them to go through it. And that's why I have a great admiration, a great deal of respect for the people that come forward and say, you know what? It took longer than I thought. It was extremely hard for me to trust that what I was doing was going to pan out for me.